As a digital marketer, as an entrepreneur, we have a strong need, a deep need to grow at all cost. If we want to sustainably run our business and our family, grow and achieve our aspirations, we need to grow at all cost. And one of the pivotal questions that often appears is that if I manage to bring in double the investment and I invest that in the marketing, can we double our growth in next quarter? And that's where the need of outbound marketing emerges. Right, outbound marketing is when you reach out to strangers and knock them and see if and create an interest among them about your product and services and sell them your product and services. Is called outbound marketing. Inbound marketing is something where people come to you and they buy from you. Is called inbound marketing. A very pivotal, very clear, simple example is if the person is looking to buy something and he goes to the Google and researches around it and he finds your company, a company blog post or something in the first page of the Google, and he clicks on it and he buys on that and then talks to your salespeople and buys on it. That's called the inbound marketing. Now, why do you need to do outbound marketing? You need to do outbound marketing is if the inbound is insufficient, the keywords are too much of competition, it will take you 12 months to rank on it, or the keywords have too few a volume and it is too expensive to advertise, or your product is something too expensive and needs a group of people to buy from it, which doesn't work with inbound, or you are already doing inbound but you need to grow further, you need to grow more. So that's where you get the need of outbound. So if you go to the more granular details of it, outbound is something which compounds itself over time, but when you start over, that's where you're stalling and it takes a lot of time to reach the peak of it. And that is the time when you try to go for outbound, which is very linear results, and which is like when you put X money, you get the Y output, and that's where the need of. But of course, this is only achieved when you do outbound right. Now, what is the purpose of outbound? The purpose of outbound is, of course, knocking strangers and creating need. Now, one of a typical question that is how do we do outbound marketing that can create need? That's the fundamental question that comes on, and very repeated recurring question that appears. But before that, let us understand what a need is. A needy person is someone who has a goal, who has a plan to achieve that goal, which who has a timeline to achieve that goal, and he knows there are certain challenges that whether he will be able to achieve that goal or not. So let's take an example. If an entrepreneur says that I want to increase my income by 50,000, and in order to do that I need 40 more leads, and to do that my plan is to do outbound marketing. He has evaluated inbound marketing and outbound marketing, and he chose outbound marketing. But he says that the challenges with outbound is, how do I do cold calling? It has failed last time. Or how do I get enough data? So these are his challenges. If your product and services solves these challenges, this is exactly, it becomes a very, very right fit. So goal, plan, challenge, and timeline. And that is the reason a need consists of GPCT: goal, plan, challenge, and timeline, right? Now, there are various levels of need. It's not that, so there are around 5 levels of need. A problem aware level of need is that the person knows that, I need 40 more leads to increase my income to 50,000. Now, how do I do? What do I do? So that's where he is in problem aware. In the solution aware, he says that I need 40 more leads to increase my income. And I am thinking, I have decided on outbound marketing, right? And now what all tools I need, what resources I need. That's where he is in the solution aware. In the product aware, he knows he needs 40 more leads to increase his revenue. He knows he has to do outbound marketing, and he knows that now he needs data sources, he needs email automation tool, he needs very good insight salespeople, he needs email content writers. So that's where he is the product aware. Most aware, he knows he needs 40 more leads, he knows he has to do outbound, he has evaluated better many products, and one of the product that he's deeply researching is your product, and he knows various features of your product. So that's what he is in the most aware stage. So these are the 5 levels of need. And what where If a person has traveled to most aware stage of need on himself or with himself directly, so then at this stage he will not, inbound marketing will work better, not outbound, mostly because he will actually need to talk to the support people, because he knows what he wants to buy. He knows the features that he wants to buy. He knows the price comparison that he wants to buy. Today we are in a world where people can buy cars and houses over the internet, so he knows everything. He actually wants to see the support of the organization, the pricing of the organization. So this is where the inbound marketing fits in. But outbound marketing, if the person is at solution aware, problem aware stage, and the salesperson gets hold of the customer here and takes him and drives him to the most aware stage, then this is where outbound marketing is. Outbound marketing is like selling ice to an African, and inbound marketing is like selling ice to an Eskimo, right? So these are the fundamental, right, differences between them. Now, how do I create need? If the ideal way of creating need is that moving the person from this stage towards the most aware stage, and that's how you create need. Now, but before I do that, now I know that's very simply said, take this stage and move this stage, and how that will be done, we will absolutely talk on that. But very first, what we need to know is that which stage the customer is actually, right? And for that, you need to talk to the customer, you need to ask to the customer, and the customer has to see you. And that means it goes about a 2 to 3 minutes of very deep conversation. So when you want a 2 3 minutes of deep conversation, that means definitely you first, the greatest challenge that comes is, how do I engage the customer for the first 20 seconds when he drops my call, or or doesn't reply me over the message. So we all human being, when we have been cold called for past about 15 years or emailed, and we are very resistant to anybody whom we don't know coming and trying to help us. We feel fishy about it, we feel salesy about it, and we get very very clever about it. We try to avoid it. Now, there is a scientific way of handling it. But let me first take an example. Let's say I am reaching somebody called Dr. Puru, and who is a kidney surgeon. And the very first time I am calling him, and the first thing that I do is that, hi, Mr. Puru, I hope my call is not disturbing you or annoying you. Let me tell you that this is an uninvited call. You haven't asked me to call. Am I allowed to speak to you? Now, you find that these are empathetic words. Empathetic means these all are not begging words. These all are not requesting and begging him, please speak to me. No, these all are empathetic words. Empathetic means I know, I assume what is going in Mr. Puru's mind. Who is this? I don't know him. Why is it reaching me? I am very busy now, right? This guy must be trying to snatch money out of me. I think this is the thing which is going on in the customer's mind, and mostly I have seen it to be correct. And then when I speak those words and I tell them this, I find very horrendously large percentage of people telling me, no, Sudeep. They first ask me, what's your name? And then they say, no, Sudeep, uh, please tell me, what is that you are doing? And by the way, understand this, the science behind is using empathic words. This is used by FBI and various agencies who take the neuro psychologist to guide them. They use these signs to negotiate with the dacoit who has held somebody hostage over the gun, right? So empathetic words at this stage universally works with human being. In cold calling with your potential buyers, it also works, right? Now that when you have got a permission to speak for remaining 40 seconds, what do I speak? Now this is where you ideally are very sincerely caring, and all. You cannot be acting to be caring, right? You will have to be sincerely caring here. Now, let me give an example here. I'm Mr. Puru. I make my living helping peoples to increase lead to closer ratio. At places we can't do that, we move away. I researched about you and found that you are a kidney surgeon and you invest in digital marketing heavily to generate leads. After further research, I developed an assumption that your lead management is on spreadsheet. And often we have seen that organizations who are doing lead management over spreadsheet experience too poor lead to business ratio. And these entrepreneurs, even if they experience too poor business ratio, a business to closer ratio, they can't pinpoint whether the problem is in poor quality lead or in inefficient sales team performance, or coupled with both of them. I assume that you too might be experiencing goal of improving your lead to closer ratio by 20% in 60 days. Am I right in my assumption? Now, that's where, right, based on the feedback of the customer, no, I am thinking of it, no, this is not my priority, my focus is something else. Yes, I have been thinking of it, I am already evaluating somebody, yes. So based on that, you will be acting it accordingly. You will be, whether you want to lead nurture or you want to sales or you want a demo, right? We will come to these in a more deeper understanding in the next slides. My right, just hold on, let me see, this is slightly uh yeah, I just take this. Yes. So, oh, I am sorry, please. Right. Now, what is outbound done right? Right. That is what, where I was telling you that there is a linear result between when you do outbound done right. But if you don't do it outbound done right, it is not linear result. You don't get enough leads. You burn out more money out of it. And so outbound done right is principally based on the psychology that don't count the people you reach the people that count. So how that philosophy translates into, let me break out. What is outbound done right? Predominantly, many people think outbound means reaching 500 data with the same content. That is what I say, traditional way of doing outbound, wrong way of doing outbound. The outbound done right is reaching 250 prospects with a personalized content. We will further go down to it. The, the traditional way of outbound, mass blasting, same content to all. New outbound, personalized approach, content personalized by company size, designation, industry, buyer stage, right? And that's what is outbound done right, the modern way of doing outbound. So how to do that? How to do that personalized? When you do mass blasting way of outbound, you first decide that what will I speak. You tell that I will be selling my credit card with this offer or whatever. You have a mobile app company, mobile app development company. You define a script, whether it is call script or whether it is an email script, and you decide that do I do email blast and do I do cold calling, and then you see that which is the data on which we will do that. So you are actually doing here the right, what will I speak and where will I speak and who will I speak. So this is what, where, who. Whereas when you do personalize, you first decide who am I speaking to, and then you decide what to this people segment of people, what is that I will speak, and where, and then you decide where all I will speak. So it's just absolutely turn around. So this is who, what, where, whereas this is what, where, who. So that's how the difference between the outbound and the inbound marketing, right? I was sorry, the outbound of old traditional way of doing outbound and the doing outbound done right. So when you break out who, you actually decide on which segment will I speak, and these are the steps. You decide on what content and you orchestrate it. I will go to deep into this. Right. So let me first, you decided and you got a segment of data, and then you plan out it that we will be knocking. The number of cold knocks that we will do in this lead is 17 times. The first day when we will knock, we will do it over call. The intention will be to find the buyer stage. And next day we will email them based on the stage. And then fourth knock is on the fifth day. And this is a message of 2 email sequences with the SMS. And the seventh knock is on the 8th day, and that is how you define your how many times you will be knocking this. So this is what is outbound done right. In the traditional outbound way, you just call, or you just mail, and you touch them once and twice, and then you forget. So that's not. This is a sequence of follow-ups that you do engage, but you are knocking personalized manner. So based on the buyer stage, you decide on the content. If it is solution aware, I will be sharing him case studies and how to do email, right, and sharing it over the emails and SMS and WhatsApp. It is in problem aware, then the mail content will be around problem agitation, and if it's product aware, it will be around this. So that's how you define on the decide the content, the sequence of content, and based on the stage, you move the customer to the one stage to the other. Now, how do you measure outbound? You actually measure outbound through five major stats: that coverage, how many data you have for each of this segment. Are the target segments aware of your company? Is the engagement of them, these target segments, increasing over time? Are you knocking the right segments? And what is the impact of this over the lead? So these are the five, stats which comes around while you want to measure the outbound done right. Without proper tool, you cannot do outbound done right, or in a personalized manner. Why so? Because we there are a series of platform called the sales engagement platform, which helps you to do right personalized marketing, outbound marketing. But why so? Because have we ever been able to do mass blasting way of outbound without a dialer software or an email blasting software? No, you could not have done. Can we do demand generation without a marketing automation tool? No, it was not possible to be accomplished. Same way, in a personalized outbound, when you go, if you don't use the right tool, you will not be able to do it. Right. A sales engagement platform is, if you want to do personalized outbound manually, you will be able to reach only 30 prospects, whereas in the same time, using a sales engagement platform, you will be able to reach 300 prospects. In a manually, it is very hard to optimize and know that which segment, what content is resonating and what is not resonating. With a proper tool, you get to do a lot of A/B testing and stats, which helps you to optimize your personalized outbound marketing efforts. So what are the components of a sales engagement platform? A sales engagement platform has in itself inbuilt email, which integrates with your personalized email, whether you have an email from G Suite or Outlook or your official mail ID, GoDaddy or Zoho or whatever. It integrates with it. It integrates with your SMS. It integrates with your WhatsApp. It integrates with your telephone lines and brings all of this in the same platform. It can automatically send the most relevant emails to the prospect based on the buyer stages, designation, industry, company. So you have to create contents, and after that, distribution of the content can be automated there. And it can give you a lot of analytics and the measurement based on the customer segment where it is. Right. I am from Imagine Sales Solutions. We are one of the Asia's first sales engagement platform. If you want to see how and what we are doing, you are please welcome to our website. And also you can reach us on the above mentioned number, and you can WhatsApp us. And based on your request, we can absolutely show you a trial and demo, and also answer you questions around what type of call script will help you to do, which call script is working better. If Imagine Sales software helps you to get these analytics of call scripts, email scripts, A/B testing the script based on the segment, and that's what we do. Right. Hope you all liked it. If you have any more questions, please comment on the box. And remember, right, out of inbound and outbound marketing, outbound is very right fit when you want to grow better. It has a very real linear results. Inbound, you cannot predict, right? If I put X money, will I get Y results? Right? That's not it. And since I am not, you might say that we are not experts in inbound. I can quote where HubSpot or Marketo or the biggest digital marketers of the world say that no, it is not predictable to double it in inbound, but it is possible to do it in outbound. Thank you.